Let me show you the simple secrets to crushing it with Instagram hashtags. We're going to cover how many hashtags you should use, whereabouts in your content you should be putting them, if they still generate results, what the best strategy is to use, how to find them, and how to track your results with them so you can get the absolute best performance out of them without spending a ton of time on them. That's a lot of stuff to cover in one video, so let's get right into it. Now, first things first, how many hashtags should you use? Well, honestly, this is the one part of the video where I cannot give you a concrete answer. I can't say use 9.2 hashtags per post for the optimal reach, because really there are a lot of factors and variables within how many hashtags you should be using to get the best results. It depends on what content you're posting, how large your account is, what niche you're in, as well as a few other minor features. Now, many of you know that Instagram came out and said use 3 to 5 hashtags for optimal growth. However, we're still seeing some of our accounts get optimal growth using 20 or more hashtags. The best advice I can give you around how many hashtags to use is to use as many hashtags that fit the criteria of a good relevant hashtag that you should be using, which we'll cover later in this video. So if only 6 hashtags fit the criteria for your post, don't try and stretch it out and have 20 just to hit that number. On the contrary, if there are 10 hashtags that perfectly fit your post, don't try and restrict that down to 3 just because Instagram said so in a post a while ago. We'll get into that criteria later in the video, but essentially you want to use as many or as few hashtags that fit it. For some of you, this will be 5. For some of you, this will be 15. For others, it might be 30. Now, moving on to point number 2, where should you put these hashtags? This one is much more simple and clear cut. You want to put them into the caption rather than the comments. Now, one of the biggest things that has changed with hashtags over the past few years is the evolution of Instagram search. Because in the past, hashtags were pretty much just made to rank on hashtag pages. So if someone wanted to find content about photography, they would go to hashtag photography and they would see a bunch of inspiration. And if you made a post about photography or of a nice photo you took, you would throw that hashtag on there so people could find it that way. However, nowadays, Instagram search has evolved massively, and so a lot of the time people don't even land on the hashtags themselves. A lot of the time you might open up Instagram, search just photography instead of hashtag photography, and it'll show you different accounts with that keyword relevant. It'll show you different content. It'll show you different reels where that word is used, not necessarily the hashtag, but the word in general. It could be in the caption, it could be in someone's bio, name, username, etc. And this has taken a lot of the reach away from hashtags towards search, which somewhat go hand in hand, but are a little bit different. Now, if you put your hashtags into the comments, you can't rank those words for Instagram search because they only look at the bio, the username, the name, and captions, not comments. So if you want to rank in Instagram search, which is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger every single month, you should put your hashtags into the caption. There's a lot of upside to doing this with absolutely no downside. Question number 3, do hashtags still work? Yes. Hashtags have always worked and always will work when it comes to categorizing your content. However, the way the reach you generate from hashtags is shown is changed a little bit. Like I said before, now rather than just ranking on the hashtag page, a lot of the time your hashtags are going to influence how you show up in Instagram search. On top of that, using the right hashtags can help rank your content on the explore page because the algorithm better understands what your content is about and can find people who engaged with a content from similar accounts using similar hashtags, and they can then show your content to those people, making the assumption that those people will also enjoy your content, if that makes sense. So yes, they still work, and despite some people getting less reach from hashtags specifically, like if you look at your analytics, the reach from hashtags may have gone down. However, those hashtags have helped you rank your content in search on the explore page and get your profile recommended to more people. So they are still very, very important, if not more important. Now, question number 4, what is the best hashtag strategy? Well, again, I think this is pretty simple. You want to find hashtags that are relevant to the content you're posting. You don't want to use ones that are too big and too competitive because too many other people will be using them and it'll be hard to outrank them and show up higher than, say, Cristiano Ronaldo, who's using hashtag motivation. But you also don't want to use ones that are tiny and that no one's even looking at or no one is remotely interested in, because then it's kind of a waste. You want to find those ones that are nicely in the middle, and whatever the middle is will be different based on the size of your audience. If you've got 1 million followers, hashtags that are too small or too competitive are going to be very different to if you've got 1,000 followers, because you're getting a lot less engagement, which means your ability to rank your content is much lower. Which leads us on to the fifth point of how do you actually find these hashtags and how do you determine what is too big or too small? Well, let me jump into my computer and show you how I do it. So diving into my screen, I have opened up a tool called Flick, which is the tool that I use to do my hashtag research and to get a really good understanding of my analytics so I can grow my account much faster. Now, this tool, it is a paid tool, but you can get a free 7-day trial using my link down in the description below. It saves literally hours and hours per week of time, and so is well worth it in my opinion. Helps you grow much faster. So once you've opened up your free account there, you go into search and you're simply going to type in a hashtag. First though, you want to turn on what's called smart filters. And this smart filters is an AI that'll look at your account, look at how much engagement you get, how many followers you get, and so on. And they will automatically determine how competitive your account is, and they will filter out hashtags that are too large and too competitive, as well as ones that are too small that aren't going to get you any reach. So it does all of that guesswork for you, which is really, really good. Then you're going to type in a keyword. So I might put in content marketing if I'm doing research for that. Now personally, I prefer the table view, so we'll go with that. And as you can see, the smart filters that they've applied is we're only looking at hashtags that have between 5,000 posts and 637,000 posts on them, with an average likes of 0 to 655. That way, it's only showing me hashtags that I can rank on that are also relevant to content marketing. I'm then just going to sort it based on potential reach, and I want the ones with the most potential reach, not the least. I'm not going to select content marketing because that was the keyword I searched, but as you can see, you need like 4,000 likes on average to rank on it, so that's probably going to be pretty hard. Now, I'm just going to select the relevant hashtags to my account. Now, this is for my new account, Cleverpreneur, so there's not a lot of engagement on it, and it's just getting started, but all the content is to do with digital marketing, growing your Instagram, etc. So if I scroll down here, I will have a look at what is relevant. So content marketing agency, that's relevant. Social media optimization, content marketing tip. What other ones of these are relevant to my content? Content marketing training, yep, we do a lot of that. Grow your Insta, good one in there, definitely very relevant to what we do. See what else? Content marketing strategy, content market. That one's spelt wrong, so I'm not going to use that one. You don't really want to use ones that are spelt wrong because yeah, usually people aren't going to spell stuff wrong. Now I'm going to chuck in another keyword and go Instagram, or maybe I'll go Instagram tips and see what that comes up with. So again, it's got the same filters. I'm going to select Instagram tips. Actually, I'm not. Again, you can see 1.8 thousand likes. Oh, I'll do it anyway. I'll chuck it in there. Social media consulting, social marketing tips. And I'm like pretty much just going to repeat this process until social media marketing. And that's it. So I found 10 hashtags through doing that, and that's probably plenty for a piece of content. Like I said, you don't have to stretch it out to try and have 20 or 5 or whatever your certain amount is. Then all you're going to do is hit audit selection. Now, one important thing here is you want to make sure none of them are banned or flagged hashtags, because that can lead to your account getting shadow banned. 0 potentially banned. All hashtags look suitable for my account. And if we look at the breakdown, we've got sort of 6 medium hashtags that is quite good with medium competition. We've got 1 high one, Instagram tips. Unlikely I'm going to rank on that, but I'll chuck it in anyway. And then 3 lower competition ones. So that's a good split. Then I'm just going to simply add those to a collection, create new collection, Cleverpreneur starting hashtags. And that's going to be 10 hashtags that I can now use in my content, and I will chuck those into, remember, the caption, not the comments of my next post. Now, you can also actually use Flick to go ahead and look at how well these hashtags are ranking on your account through here. However, I have only just, go here. However, I've only just connected Flick to this new account. So as you can see, like the data is not tracked because I only just was able to connect it today. So in a week or two, I will go through and show you how the hashtags are ranking, the reach on the content, and so on, because that's actually some really interesting stuff there. So that's it. Go grab yourself a trial of Flick and we'll jump back to the main screen. Now, to finish off this video, point number 6 is how do you actually track the results of these hashtags? Well, like I briefly touched on, inside of Flick, you can actually look at your analytics. So after a couple of weeks of using the platform, you can see which hashtags are ranking and which ones are not ranking. And then you can find which hashtags are bringing you the best results, and you can go from there and use those more often and use the ones that are not working less often, till eventually you've just got the perfect set of hashtags. However, as mentioned, I only connected this new account that I've started yesterday, so I don't have all of those analytics to run you through and give you a good example of, so I'll make a video in a couple of weeks showing you how to use the analytics side of Flick, which is very, very powerful and I've used for many other accounts in the past. But the more basic way of checking how well your hashtags are doing is to simply use them in your content and then look at how many new people you are reaching with that content. And if you are reaching more new people, more non-followers than usual, that's ideally a good sign. The reason you don't want to just look at hashtag reach is because what I touched on earlier, hashtags can influence your ability to rank on the explore page, to rank in Instagram search and other places on the platform. So hashtag reach is not the only place that is being affected. Your hashtag reach may stay the exact same, but because of these hashtags, you're now hitting the explore page, for example. So you want to look at your reach to non-followers as a whole rather than just hashtags themselves. And that wraps up how to use hashtags in 2022 and beyond. If you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I would highly suggest you go and grab a free trial of Flick. There will be a link down in the description. It's my affiliate link. I don't get sponsored by them. They don't pay me to make videos. It's just a tool that I really enjoy using and I think will benefit a lot of you. But yes, I am an affiliate. But best hashtags, best analytics, scheduling your content, does it all. That's it from me. I will see you all in the next one.